competition for the ugliest car ever, this would be a runner-up. Even though I feel it's a little undeserved, I feel like this car does have a couple of quirks that make it worthwhile. But like a reverse OnlyFans model, people criticize what's on top rather than what's inside. Or maybe they criticize all around, who knows.
Pontiac Aztek.
But because this is a custom car, we're gonna see just how custom this custom car is. Trying to resurrect hot rods across the nation, it's the PT Fast. Of course, you and I both know what this car is supposed to be from the ground up. It's a PT Cruiser. Interestingly, it wasn't supposed to be a Chrysler car at the time, but that brand is no longer with us. Of course, something this wacky struggles to compare to other cars in my collection that have a somewhat similar shape. I did notice the paint job on this car does remind me of the original 1996 Viper. That had blue paint with white stripes and was also a Mopar product, which interestingly enough, the PT Cruiser was as well. In fact, speaking of Mopar, if we look at the windscreen, we can see a sunshade, and written on it is indeed Mopar. And if we flip the car around to the back, it says the car's name, which indeed is PT Fast, with what appears to have Dodge stripes on it. I forgot to mention, this blue is not unique to this car because there's other cars in my collection that have it as well. I bet you've never seen a track-ready PT Cruiser such as this before. It's been a while since I've seen these, but this PT Cruiser rocks some FC3 rims, which are, as you can see, rims that are not really common in my collection. You know, you gotta hand it to these two cars. Sure, they might be ugly, but for the time being, they were just cars that people could walk in and pay for. I notice on the sides of the windows, including the back, there's a little cutout, which indicates that this car is indeed race prepped. On the rear of the car, we have these little aerodynamic fins, which are no doubt used to, well, make the car more aerodynamic. Because where else would you put fins on a car? The reason why this car stood out to me is because, ironically, my father owned one back in the day. He had a black special edition that had a sunroof and a spoiler on the back. Which genuinely feels like a blast from the past because, unlike most people, he actually did like his car. Which, to each their own, everybody's got their quirks. So what are my thoughts on the PT Fast? Well, apparently, it's a little mixed. First, I didn't realize they'd actually make this, and second, the fact that they put a race pack on it, or at least a body kit that makes it look race-worthy, is astounding. I have a feeling if they're going to re-release this casting again, it's probably going to be in yellow or white. I just have a feeling. But blue works pretty well for what it is, especially considering it's one of the ugliest cars of the 2000s. But what do you think about this PT Cruiser? Do you think it deserves a spot in your collection, or should it just be left behind? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below.